together. And he just pulled into my car. I will follow you around this complex young man in this bomb ass Range Rover. You better not go up that hill. Oh, okay. I will find him. I will find where this nigga at. Snappers, let me tell you how the Lord works out. Before I left town, I told my homegirl, I'm like, we're going to go to this day party when I come back on Sunday. When I come back to town, we're going to a day party. And I pumped myself up and was ready to go. I came home, put up all my stuff, took a shower, texted a girl and was like, hey, I'm about to get dressed. Are you ready? And she was like, I figured you'd renege on me, so I'm already out running errands. I can't go. I said, oh, ain't no problem. Don't worry about it. I'll just stay here. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Ain't no hard feelings. You assumed I was going to renege. I wasn't going to renege, but because you assumed, I don't have to renege because you reneged on me. So, yeah, I'm fine on this couch. So, if y'all need me, I'm going to be right here. But I would like to state for the record, I was going to go. I had an outfit laid out and everything, but you know, where my fire? Oh, and for the record, I did end up finding that guy who was driving that Range Rover. He was some older guy, though, not my type, but I found that ass. Good afternoon, snappers. Good afternoon. I'm up. So is Maggie. It's the best snap ever. You know, the weather is really nice, so Maggie and I are about to go take a long walk around the block. Look at this beautiful day. Let's go for a long walk. Yo, look at this dog. Look at this man's big old dog. Good evening, Snapchatters. Good evening. How the hell are you? Y'all ready to discuss the cabins? Let's get. To start with, shout out to everyone who stalked my life during my staycation. I didn't really feel like I was alone because y'all niggas was there on every single snap. So I appreciate the company and I'm glad you enjoyed. Now, so I'm trying to figure out, where do we start? Where do we start? Let's start with, how did I find that cabin? To begin with, to find a cabin in the mountains, I used Airbnb. I went to Airbnb.com, put the little search this area right over the fucking mountains, and then found a cabin to my liking. Now, this happened last year when I needed to find a cabin, and I stayed at Melanie's cabin. How adorable is Brooklyn and Maggie? I mean, it doesn't get any sweeter. But anyways, we stayed at a cabin last year, and I knew last year that I wanted to stay at Melanie's second property this year. So it was kind of already in the books. Like, we're coming back and we're going to stay at her other cabin. So we stayed at Melanie's other cabin. Now, this is my first time doing this. Hopefully you swipe up and the link comes up. But these are the details for Melanie's cabin on Airbnb. I don't know what else y'all want to know from me other than that. So here's the link. I know someone asked how much was it for the weekend. Rates always change depending on when you go and what season. But for our weekend away, it was $424 for the whole weekend, and we split it amongst ourselves. So it wasn't too much for me. It was worth it. It was worth every fucking penny. One thing I did want to talk about was the drive up. Because you already know how I predicted it's windy and windy and it's ridiculous. But look at this screenshot of how crazy it is. Let me tell you something, that fucking shit just goes back and forth and back and forth. And what's really funny is you can tell that there are people who live up in the mountains because they flew around all those corners like 40 miles per hour, 50 miles per hour. I was going 20. I held up the entire mountain because I'm just like... But yeah, going to the mountains is amazing. We've already decided we'll probably make this a yearly thing because you just to get away in peace and quiet, it was great. But speaking of peace and quiet, we need to discuss my random ass hike I took this afternoon. Niggas, go back in your Snapchat memories or just tap backwards if you still have time. Do you realize how high up in the sky I was? Like, to realize that I started out at 2,900 feet and then hiked all the way up to 3,600 and there was still more to go. Do y'all want to know why I stopped hiking? I was committed to finishing that hike. When I did that holy shit, what the fuck am I doing snap, I was like, you know what? We're gonna finish. You made it this far, your fucking glasses are fogging up, you're sweating through your shirt. Let's just finish this hike. And so I kept going. And then I listened. I got to this really high point on the trail and then I was quiet. And you couldn't hear anything. You couldn't hear birds. You couldn't hear wind. You couldn't hear a fucking sound. It was the most loudest silence I've ever heard. And that's when I freaked out and got scared as fuck. I was like, I don't think it's supposed to be this quiet. Maggie, we're going back down. Yeah, I actually do want to go back and finish that trail. Like, I want to go and actually be prepared and have my backpack and shit. But not on no impromptu, let's just walk up here real quick. I couldn't breathe. I think I was getting altitude sickness. I'm like, where the fuck are we? I don't want to hike anymore. But anywho, as I talk you guys' ears off, I thought I had a whole bunch of shit to say about the cabins, but I guess I don't. Just know that I had a great time. It was amazing. Brooklyn's amazing. She's the best little cabin buddy ever. Maggie's an asshole. Maggie peed on their carpet. I didn't even tell y'all that. I didn't even tell you guys that story. The day I got there on Friday, Maggie and I were just in the kitchen and she walked over to the door and I'm like, Maggie, what are you doing over there, baby girl? She was like, taking a piss, just peeing on this lady's fucking floor. Maggie pissed on the fucking floor. Just pissed on the floor. She has never done that in my home or anyone else's, but I guess in the cabins, drop it. So yeah, I got to clean up piss my first night in the cabins, but it's okay. Anyways, I've talked you guys' ears off enough. I need to get ready for Insecure to come on. If you guys have any more questions, let me know. I'll holla. So yeah, scratch that. After Googling the fucking trail and seeing that it's one of the most difficult and over 1,000 feet to the top, and no, we won't be climbing that. No.